Welcome to Mind Over Matter, where we feature young Jamaicans who are shooting for the stars. I'm your host, Margaret Boyne. Remember, if you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, please do and hit that notification bell. Sometimes finding your true calling requires a detour and a leap of faith. My guest is a 26-year-old who isn't afraid to switch gears. After completing his engineering degree, only to find the job market tougher than anticipated, but instead of being discouraged, he uses resourcefulness and discovered a hidden talent of woodworking. 3 years later, he is the owner of a thriving business, Kingston Woodworks. My guest is Onari Cowan. Welcome to Mind Over Matter, Onari.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, it's great having you and looking forward to talking to you. But your story is so unusual, Onari. You moved from engineering to woodworking. I mean, who does that? How did that happen?
Well, looking back now, I think I was a bit too eager. I expected as soon as I leave university, I get a job the same day. It was about maybe 4 months after graduating, I started this, but I was very desperate for a job to get some income, and that's how I started Kingston Woodworks. I like videography, so I started a YouTube channel cooking on YouTube, and I wanted to renovate the kitchen of my parents' house. I met a furniture maker, had some difficulties, and I was explaining to my friend about the difficulties, and she suggested, why not make it myself? I didn't have anything at the time to make it, but she knew that I had the engineering background. So I bought some tools. I bought a circular saw and a sander.
So what you're saying then, Onari, that you didn't have any knowledge in woodworking, that you mean?
No, I have no knowledge of woodworking before, nothing more than the regular Joe.
Mm. So why did you think that it would be a possibility then for you to just make something just like that?
I had the interest and I just like making stuff. That's why my father suggested that I did engineering. I went to the engineering field because he saw that I like building stuff. Not
Oh.
necessarily out of wood only, but I just like building stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not satisfied with the service of the furniture maker, not the product itself, but like the customer service. So I start making cutting boards. I made a cutting board for my cooking channel on YouTube. And then another friend saw me making it and said that she wanted one and her co-worker wanted one. So I made a few, made probably about 6, sold probably about 3 of them. And then that same friend asked me if I could make something for another friend of hers. That was a entertainment center. And stupid me took on the job, not knowing anything about woodworking. But I saw the picture and I think that it would be easy for me to replicate. And I did so, and she was happy with it.
Really?
So that was my first project in February 2021.
2021. But
Yes.
Going back a little, you mentioned that you started a cooking channel.
Yes.
So what you were into cooking? You knew about
Yes,
that?
I was into cooking. My mother is a great chef and she really inspired me. And I also like videography. So I decided to combine both the curious of food and new food. And
You had a following on YouTube?
yes, look, if right now I think I have 500 subscribers at the time. The last video I posted was in 2021. So it was like a momentum going on before I stopped.
Okay. And that was during the pandemic?
Yes, that was during the pandemic.
So
The response
how
was
now
good.
you start go off into other things?
Desperation, because at the time I had my life going on, but I didn't have a job. So the little money I had was going down and I was trying to see how I can, make money. I sent out a lot of applications. If somebody should call me about a job, I wouldn't know who it was because I sent out so many applications. I got one interview. Still haven't got the confirmation if I got the job, yeah or nay. But I'm just assuming that I didn't get the job. And so I decided that let me try this woodworking. I went on Pinterest, got some images of floating shelves because I thought that would have been easy to make. I went on YouTube, did some research on what would make money, what a niche is, what kind of niche in woodworking, and the floating shelves seemed like the best option with the tools that I had. So I
Because
started floating shelves.
floating shelves are the little kind of flat board thing that is on
Yeah,
the
so
wall.
you don't see the bracket or you don't see what's holding it.
Oh, so it started out with floating shelves.
Yeah, so I started out with floating shelf. Took some pictures of the work. I went on Pinterest, got some pictures, made a little video and put it on my business page, and then promoted it. And luckily there was a demand for it. Somebody asked me to make it for them. They trusted me, even though I haven't built anything for myself yet. Yeah, I made it. They liked it. I was like, all right, let me take a picture of this and promote it again. So I just rinse and repeat. So for the whole summer of 2021, the only thing I've been making was floating shelves.
Oh, somebody ordered something bigger?
So so I know the exact date that I installed the first floating shelf was June 28th of 2021. And by July, I gained enough confidence to actually register the business. So I just, before it was Onari Creates, the Instagram page, but I wanted something that will go beyond me. So I decided to change the name to Kingston Woodworks after some deep thinking. And in August, I registered the business. And in November, November 1st, made it the official launch day of Kingston Woodworks. So other people start asking to make other stuff, smaller stuff, because I didn't have much space. So people ask about beds. I declined that because I didn't have the space to do it or the knowledge. So I decided to take it step by step, made some planter box.
But Onari, acquiring this knowledge, how you went about that?
It's two things. I went on YouTube, do a
Oh,
lot of
YouTube.
research. Yes, and also I'm a bit optimistic and I feel like I can do anything if I really want to. So like I just do it because I feel like it's doable.
So what your parents said about this? I mean, after sending you to UTech for 4 years, 4 years at university, I mean, were they supportive of this?
So they were supportive but doubtful because the first work I got, the entertainment center, my mother told me to give back the person their money because I have no knowledge of what I'm doing. But I did not follow her. I was stubborn and I did the job. And she was impressed, even though she looked back at it and she remember when she told me to give back the person the money. But she's proud now. She was doubtful. I think I gained my stripes.
What about gaining customers? Because sometimes customers would probably want to see something that you have done, previously done. How that work out?
Well, at the time I only had shelves. The first person just believed in me or in the page. And then I don't know, it just happened. I post my picture, I promoted it. I try to be as clear as possible through the conversations. Yeah, the foundation was the harder part, gaining the trust. But no, the 1, 2 clients here and there could keep the business afloat and my confidence high.
What about funding though? Because you'd have needed tools and I mean, woodworking tools not cheap. How you went about that?
It is not cheap at all, no. Like I say, I live a low maintenance life, so I got clients, I see that I try to reinvest. I also have I also met a few furniture makers that could assist me in some of the tools. So in the early stage, I was traveling a lot to get assistance from other small furniture makers. Until I started gaining more money, until I, eventually could buy a little bit more tools. I want to say special thanks to my daddy. After a while, he decided to I asked him for some funding and he decided to, help us his son after, gaining confidence in me.
Yes. What about the design? Do you do any of the design of the things that you make?
Design. So initially it was just I went on Pinterest for inspiration, but last year I had the idea of a water bottle stand for some time, but I didn't have the tools or the space to do so. But as soon as I got the time, tools, and the space to do so, I'd start designing the water bottle stands. I also have other ideas in my head. I haven't got the time to really fabricate it as yet because I don't want to put too much stress on me because I'm getting current customers with the current stuff I'm making. So I don't want to add on too many things where I can't complete them in the time.
Would you say then, would you say that you have incorporated your engineering background into this career that you're doing now?
Yes, because a lot of people always ask me, so do you think you're going into engineering? I believe I'm doing engineering right now. I'm building stuff. Just that majority of my stuff are made of wood. So I'm engineer. I was thinking problem solving is a key in what I'm doing. It's not always easy. There's always mistakes, and I always have to think how to correct the mistakes.
Starting the business, what were some of the early challenges that you faced? Because it's not easy starting a business in Jamaica at all.
So with what I'm doing now, the biggest challenge is space and tools. Tools are very expensive, and it was hard for me to gain customers as well. So my three biggest problem was cost, clientele, space, and tools. Otherwise, I think looking back now, and maybe because of the difficulty in finding a reliable furniture maker, clients was the easier one of the three difficulties mentioned. It was, I guess, social media, because most of the current furniture makers aren't on social media or aren't active on social media. And my youthfulness with the social media really gave me the edge.
I was just going to ask you about that, Onari, about finding you have employees, right? You have persons who work with you?
Part-time.
Because I was saying
Part-time.
that should be difficult in Jamaica because you hardly find our young people going into trades,
Yeah, there's a lot of interest in making stuff, but because I had a workshop the other day and there were a lot of people that came up and a lot of people asking for another one. So there's a lot of interest. But I say, I guess tools is a factor why a lot of people don't go into it. And also the space. It takes a lot of space to hold the tools and the items you're making. And I guess because of some people just don't find it as attractive or don't know it to be like a meaningful way of earning a living. So I hope to inspire other people to like know that trade is still alive and not just a broke people job.
Yeah. And with this new artificial intelligence, I think you should be encouraging the youth to go into trades. I think that
Yes, yes,
there are
yes.
safer jobs in that field.
Yes, because a lot of people are doing the softer work and less people doing the hard work. So there's a higher demand for hard work, and that will make the value of it increase.
Where are you located and how are you able to find this shop? You mentioned that you needed space.
So I'm currently at home. I was working at the front of my yard, but I got thanks to my father, I was able to build a shop in the back of my yard.
Oh,
It's
okay.
about 11 by 26. So it's good enough for the small items I'm doing. I recently got a bigger space due to another furniture maker that's on the verge of retiring now. Sorry, on the verge of retiring. We want some assistance, so I have a much bigger space now, can make anything. But we also have a storefront at 36 Burlington Avenue. So all of our operations are done at the factory and at my home, while the customers will just pick up the items at the storefront.
So with more space, then you're going to be going into bigger items, or
Yes,
you're
and I'll
keeping that.
be more confident in hiring a full-time employee.
Owning your own business, Onari, is they would say that 24/7 job. How did you maintain that work balance?
It's not level at this moment. All I do is it's either I sleep or I think about work or I work. Yes, my mind is always on the work. I like it. It's fun,
Mhm.
but I hardly get time to like think about something else. It's just
Mhm.
always on my mind. Trying to improve, it's just always on my mind.
No, man, you have to have some downtime, Onari. This is not
Right?
good at
I
all.
guess the only downtime right now is when I'm sleeping. But I try to get distraction. But even if I go out and distract myself,
Yeah.
sometimes I'll just like
Won't be
zone
for
out,
long.
zone out and just like think about like the work I have to do. Sometimes I wish I had a 9 to 5 where when I clock out, I actually
Yeah.
clock out. But
All right.
it's a part of me.
Engineering though, what drew you to that field in the first place?
Like I said, from basic school, I can remember building stuff, trying to build a skateboard from the construction stuff I see at my yard. Try to hammer things, get blood clot on my nails,
Mhm.
always injuring myself from kindergarten. I went to Jamaica College, and when I was doing the selections for my C-Sec subjects, I was gearing towards the business subject.
Mhm.
And then my father said, I don't think that is what you should do because you see that I'm building stuff. I just do the engineering subjects. So I did physics, math, all those stuff. And from then I went on into the business subject. I joined the robotics team in fifth form, and I was the chief engineer. I was the person who built the robot
Oh,
with the
okay.
robotics club. So that's when
Mhm.
I start doing engineering, start building stuff. So I went to UTech, I did electrical engineering because didn't I didn't really favor the mechanical engineering. I was a good electrical student at JC. So I
I see.
decided to do electrical engineering, and I graduated in 2020.
So your business is only about what, 3 years old?
So
3 years.
November officially makes 3 years.
3 years. What would you
Yes.
say are the key factors that has led to this success?
So honestly, good customer service. Jamaican is known to have mediocre or bad customer service. So having good customer service gives give the customers confidence in you, and also being innovative. I'm always thinking about work, always trying to be different from the others out there.
What are your goals now for the business?
So I want to be a household name,
Mhm.
working on it. Hopefully by the next 2 years. You think about furniture, you think about Kingston Woodworks, planning to expand, also doing international marketing. I want to market for international customers. I want to be exporting my items. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm trying to be more international.
Mhm. And I see you achieving the things that you just talk about.
Yes, yes. Because I've gotten clients from Turks and Caicos, New Jersey. I also have people buying stuff from me to give to their relatives and friends overseas. So my work have been traveling.
Congrats on that.
Thank you.
So reflecting on your journey, Onari, what would you say has been the most rewarding aspect of building your company, Kingston Woodworks?
You know that I always every time there's something new. At first, it was me getting the engraving machine that does my sign. I remember that
Mm,
was a great milestone. I was like,
yes.
yes, finally.
Yeah.
Then before that was my getting my shop because I was working underneath a tarp at the front of my yard. I got my shop. I was like, yes. Then I got the engraving machine. I was like, yes. Then I got big contracts. I got a contract from Appleton Estate, Caribbean
Wow.
Brothers,
Whoa.
Pepsi, and those were all victories.
Mhm.
Then I opened my store in December. That was another victory. Then I got a bigger space in a factory space. Now that's another victory. So I can't really pinpoint one. There's a lot.
Mhm. Mhm.
Those are the main one I remember. And I kind of feel bad because I don't like to say I get used to things too quick. Because if I look back in 2021, where I'm at right now, I'll be so happy. But no, it's just like, all right, next thing now.
Next, yeah, next thing.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I'm always looking forward, and I don't get time to look back and reflect on the
Mhm.
achievements I've made.
Yeah.
I try, but I'm always looking forward. I even say to myself, but I don't know. I don't know.
I guess it's the engineering mind.
Yes.
So you have anybody you want to thank, who has supported you on your journey? Giving you a chance to say thank you.
So I want to say thanks to my parents, thanks to my sibling. I want to say thanks to Jubin Armstrong, my friend. Thanks to Delano, and thanks to all the clients that have been supporting me. Either you follow me, or you purchase something from me, or even just a like. I really appreciate it.
Mhm. What advice can you leave to others who might be facing, a similar career crossroads? Probably don't have the courage to step out.
So I want to say, just try it. Just do it. It might not happen overnight. Might not happen in a week or a month, but just try it. Nothing beat a try but a failure.
Where can you be found on social media?
So my business name is Kingston Woodworks on Facebook, Instagram, and also I have a website, kingstonwoodworks.com.
Mhm. It was great talking to you, Onari.
Thank
And
you.
I hope I can find you to make something for me too.
Come on, think about it. Have an image on your phone, send me it, and I'll replicate it.
It was great talking to you.
Thank you.